This looks so yummy that I could eat it. Hello and welcome to this episode of the FiberWarriors community. I am your host, Susanna, and today I will be sharing with you the purchases from the 2017 Stitches West convention that occurred here in California in the end of February. As a disclaimer, all the products in this episode were purchased by me. I went to the marketplace for all 3 days, and each day was very different experience. Friday, I attended with 2 friends who are both avid knitters. The first beauty that inspired me was from Zombie Yarns. The piece that inspired me was the cameo cowl designed by Lorna Miser herself using the Playful Monster yarn pack. This yarn pack contains Monster DK, which is 100% superwash merino wool, and 4 tonal solids, each approximately 50 grams. I can't wait to start knitting this up. My next stop was at Mrs. Babs. I always am attracted to her booth, and this year I was inspired by a pattern from the Fall 2016 pattern collection, Jira pattern, designed by Hilary Smith. Callie's knit is Mrs. Babs' Kiara's base, and this is a heavy fingering weight yarn that works up into a dense plush fabric with superb stitch definition and very little halo. It is made up of 100% superwash merino, with each skein being about 235 grams. And I purchased the livid colorway, and I can't wait to knit it up. I next stopped at the Western Sky Knits booth. I was inspired by both of these colors. Both of these colors are in the Aspen Silk 600 base in Forest Night and the Forest colorway. So you can see they go great together and they're very complementary. This is a fingering weight yarn made up of 80% superwash merino and 20% silk, and each skein is 180 grams. I haven't selected a pattern yet, but I hope that you guys can help me. If you know of a pattern that might go really well with this yarn, please make a comment below and let me know what you would recommend. The last thing that I picked up was from Seven Sisters Arts. I was inspired by their Meridian Gradient set. These are a set of 6 mini skeins, approximately 30 grams each, in complementary colors. And they consist of 70% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The yarn is intentionally dyed so that the colors within the sets coordinate in a tonal shift. And the colorways that inspired me was the transition metals, and you can see here these are tones of grays and blacks, and the Great Rivers tonal way, which are tones of blues. And I think that this will go very well with the Inara wrap. Now, I originally bought this to complete the Inara wrap, but after I went to Amba O'Brien's Ravelry link, I am torn between 2 patterns. The Inara wrap, which is the one that I purchased, and the Nakara wrap, also by Amba O'Brien. This will definitely require some soul searching because I love them both. If you have a favorite, please let me know down below. On Saturday, I went with my mother, who is also a knitter, but not as avid as my 2 friends. And we stopped off at Stunning String Studio. Their booth was an orgasm of color, sprinkled with whimsical stitch markers and accessories. I was inspired by everything in their booth, and I found it difficult to decide what I wanted to bring home with me. Because of that, I decided to go for a kit instead. I was inspired by their diffraction kit that came with stunning superwash yarn in Lake Effect and Coffee Bean, which both of these colors together just reminds me of mint chocolate chip ice cream, my favorite flavor. Stunning Superwash is their signature line in 100% superwash merino in light fingering weight. It comes in 100 grams per skein. The colors are vibrant and tonal, adding depth and energy to the project, and I can't wait to start knitting this up. On Sunday, I went alone and I was inspired by only 2 vendors, which makes sense. I basically saw all the vendors already. This was my third time around, and there were 2 lovelies that had to come home with me. The first booth was Blue Bee Studio. I was inspired by one of her kits. I was able to purchase her meditation towel kit that included 1 skein of Shalimar Poly in the Azilomar colorway. Shalimar Pol is a luxurious 3-ply finger weight blend of 60% superwash merino, 20% camel, 10% cashmere, and 10% silk. The high percentage of camel gives a lovely slight halo. I can't wait to start knitting this project. The last thing that I picked up at Stitches West was from Youth Yarn. I had passed by their booth multiple times through the 3 days and was trying to fight the urge to buy from their booth, but I finally broke down as I overheard the announcement stating that there was only 10 minutes left of the marketplace. One of the finished samples caught my eye, and the urge to buy overpowered my financial sensibility. What inspired me was the pattern, Las Colinas, made from Mother Sampler, a heavy lace weight yarn made of 100% Rambolite wool in warm tone colors. The sampler consists of a total of 200 grams of yarn. I can't wait to start knitting this up and start wearing it.